very little English. How's your Italian?
Fair.
Normally, I'd be accompanied by our ambassador, but this whole errand is unusual. You see, the president feels that a negative reply to a San Francisco banker would not affect formal relations between our two countries. The president I know highly values your discretion and feels it might be wise to have you along at my interviews. Another pair of eyes and ears. I'm not sure that Il Duce will like it.
Well, suppose I just come along then, as though it were the natural thing. Unless, of course, they stop me.
Buongiorno.
Duce, mi permetta di presentarle il comandante Victor Henry, il nostro addetto navale a Berlino. Il mio eccellentissimo amico President Roosevelt ha designato il comandante tale il mio aiutante durante questi pochi giorni che starò in Europa. Può assistere o ritirarsi come desidera il Duce.
Se dovremo discutere di strategia navale, il comandante potrà aiutarci. Prego. Allora, Luigi, mi avete rivolto molte domande. Adesso ve ne farò una io.
Sì, Duce.
Questa iniziativa nasce direttamente dal vostro presidente oppure agisce dietro richiesta degli alleati?
Duce è una sua iniziativa.
Ma gli inglesi e i francesi ne sono a conoscenza ed approvano la vostra missione.
No, eccellenza, sono stati inviati altri emissari per sondare il terreno.
La stampa è stata informata?
Duce, al di fuori di questa stanza, soltanto il Presidente degli Stati Uniti e il suo sottosegretario Sumner Welles sono a conoscenza della mia missione. E sarà così anche nel futuro.
Condivido il desiderio del vostro Presidente di fare qualsiasi cosa in favore della pace. Ma la nostra politica estera si basa sul patto d'acciaio firmato con la Germania. L'odio nei cerchi di potere, in Francia e in Inghilterra, verso il grande Führer della Germania, ha del maniaco. Quindi non ho nulla da sperare. Comunque, se Sumner Welles fosse inviato dal Presidente in missione di pace, lo riceverò.
Duce, una saggia, grande decisione. Le mie due patrie, l'America e l'Italia, forse potranno salvare il mondo da un cataclisma.
Duce, allora il signor Gianelli può dire a Hitler che lei è disposto a ricevere Sumner Welles?
The Führer will know long before you get the chance to tell him.
Okay. Commander Henry to see Captain Kirkwood.
Commander Henry, sir. Captain Kirkwood asked me to tell you that he won't be in until this evening. He said you're welcome to use his office if you like, sir.
Very well. Thank you.
Oh, and sir, the captain left an envelope.
Oh?
It's on the desk. Captain Roger Kirkwood presents his compliments to Captain Victor Henry and trusts he is free to dine at 9 at the Osteria del Oso. P.S. You're out of uniform, Pug. 4 stripes, please. Congratulations, Captain.
Thank you. I'm catching the morning train to Berlin. Would you convey my regrets to Captain Kirkwood regarding dinner?
Aye, aye, sir.
And I'm expecting my son. You show him right in, please.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dad, 4 stripes and on the first I'll have 2. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Glad I came to Rome now, just for this.
Surprised me after all my shore duty.
You know, I know one's not supposed to mention this kind of thing, but doesn't this put you way at the front of your class?
No. You're never in front until you retire. All it takes now is one false move. Some helmsman doping off on mid-watch. Look, I've got to go to the hotel and change clothes. I got to catch a train. Sorry about the breakfast, Brandon.
Incidentally, that submarine school starts classes in June, right after Warren's wedding. So if you apply now...
June's a long way off. Hey, how about if I ride to the station with you, Dad? Hey, Dad. You know, I'm really proud you made captain. And about sub school. Look, if Natalie stays in the States, well, who knows?
What do you mean I'm not going?
Your name is not on the invitation.
But that's just their form. Wives always go.
I'm just going there for security reasons. Take my word for it.
Ha! Security reasons. That old chestnut. Whenever you want to do things your way, it's always security reasons.
I'd much rather take you along, you know that.
Then prove it. Call the protocol officer at the Air Ministry tomorrow. Or if you're too bashful, I will.
Are you well?
I'm bored. This Berlin weather stinks. Everything stinks. I have horrible headaches. You're never here. I think I'm going out of my mind.
You will not call the Air Ministry. I hope that's understood.
Hitler will be at Karen Hall.
I know.
All Berlin's talking about this party at the Gorings.
Uh-oh. Here's a letter from that Kirby fellow. Wonder what he's got to say for himself.
Read it. Dull as he is. All about how glad he is to be home and how good the skiing is in Denver. 3 pages of nothing.
Well, you look wonderful.
I do not. That darn hairdresser baked my hair to shredded wheat again. I'm tired.
Look, I thought I'd crack open a couple of bottles of champagne and we'll celebrate my promotion.
Celebrate it with the Gorings.
Ihre Einladung bitte. Okay. Okay.
Ich bin Führer, ein Küsschen, Liebchen. Gib ihm ein Küsschen. Er ist der Führer. Er liebt dich. Er liebt dich, Kindchen. Gib ihm ein Küsschen. Nimm den Führer aus der Nase. Nimm den Führer.
Ah, if only he could marry. And Luigi, he loves children.
Stolla.
Finalmente.
Wie geht's?
Reich Marshal Goering told me you'd be here.
Captain Henry. Wolf Stoller, one of the great German bankers.
General Armin von Roon is my good friend.
He's a tough tennis player.
He speaks highly of your tennis and of you. Captain will tell you we're very proud of you.
Yes, we are.
Oh, yes.
It's a fairyland.
Ah, we are quite mad about San Francisco.
Mostly because of Luigi's hospitality.
Always a pleasure.
At last we can reciprocate. You must come to Abendruhe, our little country place.
Definitely. This weekend, we're giving a small party.
Yes. You too, Captain, of course.
General von Roon will be there.
Unfortunately, I fly to Lisbon first thing in the morning.
Oh.
But you don't fly to Lisbon.
I'm sure Mrs. Henry will enjoy the outing.
Ah. Said and done.
Gott.
Ja. Brigitte will excuse us.
I think...
Alas, no time to show you the wonders of Karinholm. The Reichsmarschall and the foreign minister are waiting.
These are indeed wonders.
Oh, just odds and ends, gifts from governments, from cities, from monarchs. He's a brilliant collector.
A man of great wealth.
Oh, wealth.
You will have exactly 7 minutes of the Führer's time to state your business.
Your Excellency, I am here in a private capacity, and I regard that amount of time as an extraordinary courtesy.
Willkommen in Karinhal, Luigi. Ich habe Sie schon öfter eingeladen, aber diesmal, da haben Sie eine lange Reise für ein kurzes Interview gemacht.
Darf ich bemerken, Herr Feldmarschall,
Bitte, setzen Sie sich.
Bitte. Bitte. Darf ich bemerken, das ist schon Millionen Verluste oder Gewinne als Ergebnis von Konferenzen erlebt habe, die nur ein paar Augenblicke dauerten. Und dass der Weltfrieden unserer Mühe wert ist, auch wenn es jetzt nicht zu viel Versprechen aussieht.
This peculiar visitation is another studied insult by your president to the Führer. Between civilized countries, the diplomatic structure is used.
Your Excellency.
Germany did not withdraw its ambassador in Washington by choice. The United States first made the hostile gesture.
Es genügt,
Your
Ribbentrop.
president's change of the so-called Neutrality Act that he pushed through Congress is a blatant act of aggression against Germany. And your maladroit mission, a show of contempt for a powerful nation of 80 million people.
May I respectfully reply?
The willingness of the Führer to give a hearing in these circumstances is a testimony to his desire for peace that history will record someday. And that, I'm afraid, is the sole value this peculiar interview possesses.
Was wollen Sie erreichen, Luigi?
Herr Feldmarschall, ich möchte Ihrem Führer nur eine einzige Frage stellen. Mit Gottes Hilfe. Aber die könnte eine Entscheidung von historischer Bedeutung herbeiführen.
Welche Frage?
Feldmarschall, der Auftrag meines Präsidenten lautet, die Frage dem Führer persönlich zu stellen.
Der Führer hat sie zu beantworten. Welche Frage also?
Captain Henry, I beg you to confirm my instructions to the great Field Marshal.
Ich bestätige, dass der Auftrag lautet, die Frage dem Führer persönlich zu stellen, wie das Herr Gianelli bereits gegenüber seinem Freund dem Duce gemacht hat, der ihm in meiner Gegenwart eine zustimmende Antwort gegeben hat.
We already know all that. And we also know the question. Luigi Gianelli, amerikanischer Bankier, und Kapitän Victor Henry, amerikanischer Marineattaché in Berlin. Zwei höchst informelle Emissäre, mein Führer, vom Präsidenten der Vereinigten Staaten als Vorbereiter für die Sumner Wells Friedensmission.
Herr Reichskanzler, mit großer Besorgnis.
Ihr geschätzter Präsident, Herr Gianelli, scheint ein bemerkenswertes Verantwortungsgefühl für den gesamten gegenwärtigen Verlauf der Weltgeschichte zu empfinden. Ich bin mir wohl bewusst, dass Ihr Land eine doppelt so große Bevölkerung hat als das unsere, als unser kleines Reich, bei mehr als dem 15-fachen Lebensraum und unendlich mehr Bodenschätzen. Vielleicht ist das der Grund, warum Ihr Präsident meint, er könne mir von Zeit zu Zeit... Your President feels that from time to time he must give me those stern, fatherly admonitions. But of course, I'm giving up my life for the renaissance of my people. And I cannot help seeing things from that limited point of view. Germany's political aims are simple, open, moderate, and unchanging. 5 centuries before Columbus discovered America, there was a German empire at the heart of Europe. War has come over and over to this heartland through the attempts of many powers to fragment the vigorous German people. And often their attempts have had temporary success. But the German nation, with its strong instinct for survival, has time and time rallied and thrown off the foreign petitioners. And so I restored the Rhineland. I brought back Austria into the Reich. I normalized the Bohemian Plateau. And the manufactured monstrosity of Czechoslovakia has once again become the traditional protectorate of the Reich. Now this restoration of normal Germany is complete, and it has been done almost without bloodshed. Only Britain's foolish guarantee to Poland forced on me the brief police action to solve the Polish question. I share the President's desire for peace. I hunger and yearn for it. I was born to create, not to destroy. I'm an artist, a builder. But the British and French leaders called for the destruction of Hitlerism. I have made Germany strong again, and that does not suit them. But with their hate, if persisted in, will doom Europe, because I and the German people cannot be separated. We are one. This is a simple truth, so I fear it'll need a test of fire to prove it. How can they be so blind? I achieved air parity in 1937. Since then, I have not stopped building planes, U-boats. I piled bombs, tanks to the sky. What a wasteful, staggering burden on my people. For our enemies understand no other language. Out of strength, I've offered the outstretched hand of peace. I was rejected, scorned. At the price of peace, our foes demand my head. My people only laugh at such pathetic nonsense. I have done my utmost, and my conscience is clear before the bar of history. So let the test of fire come. Germany will emerge victorious. If not, we'll all go down together. And Europe, as we know it, will cease to exist. This visit of Sandoval's, I have no wish to return discourtesy for discourtesy. I would do anything for peace. But until the British will to destroy me itself is destroyed, the only road to peace is through German victory. Anything else is irrelevant. I will continue to hope with all my heart for a last-minute signal of sanity from the other side before the great cataclysm bursts on the world.
Präsident Roosevelt hat seine Antwort. Der Führer sieht in der Mission von Wels keinen Funken von Hoffnung. Aber in seinem unermüdlichen Streben nach Frieden will er sie nicht ablehnen.
So habe ich das nicht verstanden. Er nannte diese Mission doch völlig belanglos.
Bitten Sie den Führer um Aufklärung, wenn Sie wollen. Bitte sehr, tun Sie es.
My observation, Mr. President, is that all three men acted as though the offensive in the West is ready to roll. I don't think they give a damn whether Wells comes or not. If the British are really as set on their terms as Hitler is on his, you'll have an all-out war in the spring. The glimpse of cross purposes at the top may have shown a weakness of the Nazi structure, but it has nothing to do with Hitler's hold on the Germans. That includes Goering and Ribbentrop. When he entered the room, they cringed. If Hitler were the half-crazy, half-comical gangster we've been reading about, this war would be a pushover. Unfortunately for the Allies, he is a very able man.
Now, this is everything on Stoller. I'm sure you know his bank is the conduit by which Goering has become so rich. Mainly by extortion from Jews.
I didn't know that, sir.
Oh, it's all very legal, German style. Now, the new laws put stiff restrictions on Jewish firms. They can't get export licenses, can't use the railroad, shipping, and so on. Heavy taxes. And naturally, after a while, they go under. Now, Stoller's bank has access to the Gestapo. He is the first person who knows when a big Jewish firm is sinking to its knees. So he steps in with a very low takeover bid. Other bankers won't bid against a Goering front. So the Jewish owners sell for a song. Goering acquires another major company, and Stoller is in there for a big share.
I'll just decline the invitation.
Now, your business is gathering intelligence. Just know what you're getting into.
Life with you is full of marvelous surprises.
Please come with me.
I must say, this is very peculiar.
This is more like it. Oh, what a magnificent suite.
Yeah, Wolf Stoller hasn't done too bad for himself.
I would say... come in.
Sir, madam, dinner will be at 7. We are here to assist you with dressing.
Now you know why they brought us up the back way.
Oh, dear heaven. I'll die. I get nothing. I'm practically nothing on underneath. Why can't they warn a girl?
When in Rome. General.
Oh, Henry.
Quite an icebreaker.
Your Stoller, I must say, has quite an individual touch.
You'd never know there was a war on.
There hardly is. First Blitzkrieg and now Sitzkrieg. It's a phony war.
And how long does that continue?
That is up to the opposition. Our Führer has offered peace. They can have it tomorrow.
If they accept his conquests and his crimes?
Crimes?
Well, the rape of Czechoslovakia, for one.
The Allies themselves handed Czechoslovakia to him at Munich.
And Poland?
As for Poland, some other time.
Danke. Do 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 do.
I found this all laid out and ready for me this morning.
Oh, Pug, I may never leave Avondrew.
Guter Schuss war das, ein guter Schuss. Wir kommen. Ja, ja.
British regard the invasion of Poland as a crime.
Poland was worse than a crime. It was a mistake.
A great victory?
The Führer bluffed himself into a corner over Poland. He got out of it with a pact with Stalin. A coup de théâtre, perhaps, but the Russians gained half of Poland without firing a shot.
a strategic disaster for us, despite our victory in the field. Great men can make great mistakes, and with greatness, maybe they overcome them.
You call Hitler great?
A great politician, without question. He has united the country, like your Roosevelt. He is what I believe you call a winner.
And his master race stuff, you buy that too?
Bunkum for the masses. An incredibly vulgar distortion of German nationalism, but that is politics for you.
You're not a Nazi, then?
I am a conservative monarchist.
Do the other generals think as you do?
As in your navy, I imagine. We have all kinds.
I see.
One thing we all share, loyalty to the head of state. One thing we all believe, orders are orders. Let us join the others.
Ich hoffe, meine Herren, Sie stimmen mit mir überein, dass die Amerikaner und die amerikanischen Juden England in diesem Krieg helfen werden.
Ja, aber...
Oh, there's Captain Henry. What better authority do you want? Let's put it to him.
It might embarrass him.
No war talk, please. That's out. This weekend is for pleasure.
Oh, I don't mind. What's the question?
Please, tell me.
I am, as you know, an actor.
One of Germany's greatest.
I create illusions for a living. And I say it is an illusion to hope that the United States will ever allow England to go down.
Please, let's talk about something else.
I'm a businessman, a realist. I maintain this is 1917. The Americans are realists. Once Europe is normalized, we can have 1,000 years of peace.
What do you say, Captain Henry?
The problem may never come up. You still have to lick England.
Oh, I think we can assume that's in the cards. Providing the Americans don't step in.
Your president doesn't try to hide his British sympathies, Victor? Although wouldn't you say that the people are against him, or at least sharply split?
Yes, but America's a strange country, Herr Stoller. Public opinion can change fast. You should remember that in dealing with us.
Public opinion doesn't just change, it is manufactured.
Ah, there you have the live nerve. The power of the Jews.
Oh, I think you exaggerate that. You fellows tend to do that, you know. It's a form of kidding yourselves.
Oh, Victor, who is your Minister of the Treasury? The Jew, Morgenthau, who sits in your highest court with the most power? The Jew, Frankfurter, who, well, I could go on and on. But no, admit it, Victor. The Jews have American finance, communications, justice, even the presidency in their pockets.
To begin with, the Treasury post has very little power. All the other cabinet positions are held by Christians. Financial power lies in banking, shipping, oil, and so forth. All in the hands of Christians, always has been.
That's always the Jewish line. How unimportant they are.
Would you recommend that we force them out of their businesses at 10 cents on the dollar?
You are better informed than many Americans, Victor. But anyway, it would be an excellent idea for the health of your economy. And you'll come to it sooner or later.
Please, Stoller, enough of this.
But is it truly your position that the Jewish question really has no bearing on America's entry into the war?
Well, I didn't say that. Americans react very sharply to injustice and suffering.
Ah, and your Negroes in the South?
That's bad, but it's getting better. And we don't put them behind barbed wire.
That's a political penalty. A Jew who behaves himself doesn't go to a camp.
No, the American Jews would be making the greatest possible mistake to drag in the United States. You know what the Führer said in his January speech. If they start another world war, that would be the end of them. And he was intensely honest, I assure you.
War or peace is not in the hands of the Jews. You've greatly distorted that situation.
I don't think so. Anyway, I can only pray that your government will come to its senses, and soon, so that the Jews might be spared the very, very bad fate which they seem determined to bring on themselves. Now, we have a little lunch prepared, gentlemen. Nothing elaborate, you understand, but what would you say to an omelette, a glass of champagne? Please.
Ach, Verzeihung, Captain Henry. Guten Abend.
Who are you?
Rosenthal. You are living in my house.
Of course.
Forgive me. But my wife and I are going to be sent to Poland soon. And we were wondering if there were any articles in our home you and Mrs. Henry would care to buy.
But you have a factory here. Surely you must have people who can keep an eye on things until conditions improve.
In fact, I have sold my firm. So there is nobody.
You stole her bank.
You know about these matters. Yeah. I received a very fair price. Very fair.
Herr Rosenthal, I told you. When we rented your house, I had no wish to profit by your misfortune. I do not.
Captain Henry, you could not possibly do me or Frau Rosenthal a greater kindness. If you want to telephone me, you can get me here. Fröhliche Weihnachten. Merry Christmas.
There you are. What on earth?
I decided to walk.
4 miles in the snow? We're due back at the embassy at 8 o'clock.
I'll change clothes real fast.
Lord, I hope this party will be fun. This is one grim Christmas.
Amen. Hey, what's it all about, Fred?
The Wolf Stollers, Bud. Loveliest people your wife ever met.
I said the nicest Germans, and they are. I thought broadcasters were supposed to be impartial. You are wildly prejudiced.
Time for you to go home, Rhoda.
And just what does that mean?
Well, kid, if you think people like the Wolf Stollers are nice, you got to get back on American Chow for a while in the New York Times.
Oh, well, aren't we the nice, clever radio personality? I just know the German people are not monsters with tails and horns. They're just ordinary people, however misguided. Or did some Fräulein climb into your bed with cloven hoofs, dear?
It might be easier to navigate in this country, Rhoda, if the bad ones did sprout horns and grow hair on the palms of their hands or something.
What Wolf Stoller has in his palms is blood. Lots of it. He acts unaware of it. You and Rhoda encourage his colorblindness, Pug, by acting the same way.
Laws of mercy me, if that isn't the wildest poppycock. Freddie, fearing you are the one who should go home. Merry Christmas.
Now, Fred, it's Pug's job to socialize with people like Stoller. I propose a moratorium tonight on discussing German.
I agree.
Hear, hear.
Yes, absolutely.
Christmas Eve.
Bug Henry, I like you. I guess I'll go for a walk.
Fred. Fred. Fred.
What are you taking this serious?
Pass the wine.
Yes.
Give me accents.
Freddie Fury, big shot authority on Germany. Thanks. Why, Mrs. Stoller is an absolute darling. We meet at the hairdresser and gab away for the hour. We're already invited to the big hunt party in April at Avondru.
We'll decline.
What?
We're never going back to Avondru, Rhoda.
We most certainly are. The only fun I have had in this town is...
Wolf Stoller is Goering's man for extorting money from the Jews.
He can't be.
That's what Goering was talking about. Claremont showed me the file on Stoller. He's made millions out of it.
That charming man.
That charming man drove Rosenthal to the wall.
Rosenthal?
The man we rent our house from. He approached me tonight on the street like a beggar. He wanted us to buy some things from his house. Anything for a little cash because they're shipping him to Poland.
Awful. What did you say?
I didn't take him up on it. I don't want to suck his blood.
It was foolish. The man must be desperate for money.
I'd be glad to give him money. I will not buy up his possessions.
He won't accept your money. There are lovely things in the house. We can pay him a very fair price.
A very fair price. Like Stoller gave him a very fair price? I think it's time we got out of this hellish town, Rhoda. I don't want to be disturbed. Dear Admiral Preble, I'm requesting Goopers to relieve me, preferably before April, and the sooner the better. Berlin is a nightmarish place. It's bad for me, worse for Rhoda. I've trained 25 years for combat at sea. I'm a gunnery man and nothing else. I ask, I beg for transfer to sea duty.
Pressure again swept in Norway, and the intensified blockade war was aggravated today with the announcement that a German submarine torpedoed and sunk the Norwegian ship Navara in storm.
Bryony, dear, the doctor says my father's coming along just fine. I don't like his fragile look. He doesn't do much but sit in the sun and listen to the war news. He's terribly worried about Uncle Aaron. He never used to speak much of him, but now he goes on and on about him. He's terrified that Hitler is a devil who's going to conquer the world and murder all the Jews. Well, my love, it won't be long until your brother's wedding, will it? Time flies. Before we face each other again, I'd better level with you a bit about me and Leslie Sloat. Don't panic, love. It's nothing earth-shaking. Last December, when I reached New York and found out that my father was already out of the hospital, I decided to stop off in Washington to see Leslie. I owed him that much, dear. Well, he was definitely not expecting the answer I brought back to his proposal. Lord, did he carry on. You and that boy, he kept saying. There can't be anything substantial between you. In the end, I came flat out with it. I said the thing between us is damn substantial, that by comparison, nothing else just now seems very substantial. Well, he calls it a physical infatuation, very temporary. He insists I'll marry him in due course, that he and I are meant for each other. He keeps telephoning, and once he flew down to see me. Nothing has happened that can make me forget for a moment the look in your eyes, the feel of your arms around me when...
The phony war has ended. A fierce air, sea, and land battle is raging for Norway. We bring you special reports from the war capitals. First, London.
This is the BBC. In a lightning attack without warning or provocation, Nazi Germany has invaded neutral Norway by sea and air, and German land forces have rolled into Denmark. The Royal Navy is moving rapidly to cut off the invasion. Winston Churchill, First Lord of the Admiralty, has declared all German vessels entering the Skagerrak will be sunk.
Next, Berlin.
This is Fred Fearing in Berlin. The propaganda ministry has issued the following bulletin. Forestalling a British plan to seize neutral Scandinavia and deny Germany access to Swedish iron ore and other raw materials. The German armed forces have peaceably taken Denmark and Norway under their protection.
Papa?
And now, Paris. In an official communique, the French government has announced that the Allies will rally to the cause of democratic Norway and will meet the German onslaught, quote, with cold steel, unquote. Commentators here point out that the and this would mean the collapse.
Well, what do you think of the news?
So much for the Sumner Wells mission.
You know, this may just get you that sea duty you keep writing those letters about.
Hell of a way to get it.
Yeah.
Your report on the Gianelli meetings was really tops, old fellow. Gave me an excellent feel of how they went. Hitler's a strange one, isn't he? Everybody's reaction is a little different. Admiral Preble tells me you're returning briefly in May for your son's wedding. Be sure to drop in on me before you return to Berlin. I'm absolutely delighted that you are where you are, and I've told old Preble that in no uncertain terms.
A man named Rosenthal. Call him at that number.
Aye, aye, sir.
Hello, Rhoda. Yes, I know the war's breaking wide open. Look, honey, you better make yourself a hair appointment. That hunt party at Abendroth. Call Mrs. Stoller and accept.
Oh, marvelous.
And I want you to make out a list of everything you want to buy from the Rosenthals. And after each item, put down a very fair price.
This is more like it.
The Second World War is in its 9th month, and Paris is having a lovely spring. Adolf Hitler's Germany has conquered Poland and occupied Norway. But all is quiet on the Western Front. For in the West, the Germans face the Maginot Line, that impregnable chain of great fortresses shielding France from the Swiss to the Belgian borders. The French army, the strongest, best trained, best equipped in the world, led by the great General Gamelin. The British Expeditionary Army, backed by the Royal Air Force and the world's most powerful navy. And so, Paris is tranquil. The British call this lull the Sitzkrieg. American headline writers call it the phony war. But on May 10th, 1940, the phony war comes to an end. After 19 postponements, 6 months of delays, Case Yellow, the attack on France, begins with the assault on Belgium and Holland. Then, as the Allied armies move to stop them, the Germans strike through the hilly Ardennes. This main armored punch bypasses the Maginot Line, catching the Allies by complete surprise, and threatens to cut the front in two. The Allied armies are in pell-mell retreat to avoid entrapment. In London, the Chamberlain government falls. Winston Churchill is the new Prime Minister.
And she's in town shopping for her trousseau.
Oh, my dear, your snapshots don't do you justice at all. You're ravishing.
Oh, thank you.
I always thought that Warren had good taste.
Oh, and how is he anyway?
Oh, all right, I hope. He's sweating out carrier landings down off Puerto Rico.
Oh, and Byron, I'd like for you to meet... Byron? Byron?
Where the devil is he?
Yeah, just now. I'm in New York at LaGuardia. Natalie, I'm sorry about your father.
Well, did Aaron come home?
Nah, he's stuck. Said he'd write you and tell you about it. Listen, I'm flying down there.
What about your family?
Don't you worry about them. I'll telephone you and tell you what flight I'm on, okay?
Byron, are you sure?
Hey, bye for now. I love you. Janice, I'm Warren's brother, Byron.
Hi.
I knew you'd be here, so,
Well, go ahead, Janice, open it. Oh, what a beautiful little elephant.
You marry any of us, you have to have the patience of one.
Oh, my God, if that isn't the truth.
Oh, Mom, a man by the name of Palmer Kirby called. He's at the Waldorf, and he's invited us all to dinner.
Well, for heaven's sake. Well, what's he doing here? I don't think we can go, can we, Pug?
As a matter of fact, I want to talk to Fred Kirby.
Oh, it's impossible. I mean, I have nothing to wear to the Waldorf, but my clothes are a mass of wrinkles. Well, if only I could get to a hairdresser.
Oh, it's fabulous.
I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
He's a genius. Where has he been till now?
An ordeal of the most grievous.
He was the head of the British Navy when those U-boats slipped into Scapa Flow and sunk the Royal Oak, and when the Germans crossed the Skagerrak and took Norway.
Will you shut up and listen?
Our policy. I will say it is to wage war by sea, land, and air with all our might and with all the strength that God can give us. To wage war against a monstrous tyranny, never surpassed in the dark, lamentable catalogue of human crime. That is our policy. You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word: victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory, however long and hard the road may be. For without victory, there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the British Empire. No survival for all that the British Empire has stood for. That mankind will move forward towards its goal. But I take up my task with buoyancy and hope. I feel sure that our cause will not be suffered to fail among men. At this time, I feel entitled to claim the aid of all. And I say, come then, let us go forward together with our united strength.
You have just heard the newly appointed Prime Minister of Britain, Winston Churchill.
That man will save civilization.
Do you think we'll get in?
Oh, no, we'll never let them conquer England.
Fred, could I talk to you for a couple of minutes?
Caviar, champagne, and business as usual. That's Bug.
Sure, we can talk in the bedroom.
Dad, I gotta be moseying. I'm catching a plane from Miami at LaGuardia in about an hour.
You know that Fred Kirby expects you to be dining with us.
Well, the reservations are already made, so...
What about Madeline? She wants us to come to her show right after dinner.
I know, Dad, but I really think I ought to go.
Byron, you are impossible. Couldn't this have waited until tomorrow?
Oh, Mom, don't you remember what it was like to be in love?
Me? Of course not. What a silly thing to say. I'm 1,000,000 years old.
That must be some girl in Miami.
Yeah, she's all right.
Bring her to the wedding, don't forget.
Byron, you have a real talent for disappointing your father.
Oh, he'd be disappointed if I didn't disappoint him. My Mom.
Goodbye.
Yes, these will be very helpful. Thank you, Pug.
I thought you might find them interesting. Fred, you're working on a uranium bomb, aren't you? Now, of course, you can tell me that it's none of my business, but I'm visiting the president this trip, and should the occasion arise, you might want me to volunteer my valued opinion and tell him to get off his tail and do something about uranium.
The real question here, Pug, are the Germans. How far along are they? If uranium bombs are possible, and if Hitler gets them first, that could prove to be disagreeable.
the invasion of France is still underway, Winston Churchill, the new British Prime Minister, a night worker, a late sleeper, has ordered his staff not to wake him, except in extreme war emergency. On his 5th day in office, they awaken him.
Sir, the Premier of France is on the phone.
Renault himself, at this hour?
From Paris.
What's the news?
Lord Gort's forces are still holding, but Holland will surrender at 11 a.m., and the Belgians are wavering.
And the French?
Retreating everywhere.
Churchill.
Mr. Churchill, we are beat. We have lost the war.
Surely it cannot have happened so soon.
The front is broken near Sedan. The enemy's armored forces are pouring through in irresistible numbers.
Then he will outrun his surprise and we will counterattack. That was the winning principle of your great Marshal Foch in 1918.
We are defeated.
Surely Corporal Hitler cannot have accomplished in 5 days what Kaiser Wilhelm could not manage in 4 years.
There is only one chance left. You must throw in your entire air force at once to stop the flood of German tanks.
Well, where are General Gamelin's reserves? Your master maneuver for counterattack?
Aucune. There is none.
Aucune?
Commit your whole air force in France. I implore you. Do it now, otherwise the war is lost.
I shall fly to Paris. Have courage. Pray summon Air Vice Marshal Dowding. The Germans have flanked the Maginot Line, Dowding, with their armored thrust through the Ardennes hills, where General Gamelin thought tanks could not operate. The French front is cut in two. They are surprised and routed. These two German forces threaten to encircle and cut off our entire army in France. All this in 5 days. The world order trembles in the balance. Our empire, the French Empire, yes, civilization itself. Lord Gort is falling back on Dunkirk, the only port left open to us. But he is in grave peril of being cut off. Now, if I have to rescue my army from France, can you master the air over the Channel while I do it?
At high cost, yes.
If I have to fight on alone, how many squadrons must I hold back from the Battle for France to defend our island against the full fury of the Luftwaffe? Cut to the bone.
25 squadrons.
Well, I'm off to Paris. I'll hold back your 25 squadrons.
Thanks, sir.
There's no war, no death. It's just the sky and the sea and the sun shining down on us all alone.
Wake up there?
Yeah.
Just got a call from the beach. Your father wants you to come in.
Wrong boat. It's in Washington.
Your father a Navy captain?
Yeah?
Well, he's on the wharf waiting for you right now, buddy.
What on earth?
I haven't got the foggiest. Go ahead and turn around.
Okay.
I better get dressed, huh? Green. You should try putting on eyebrows and lipstick sometime in a rocking boat.
Yeah, just like I thought. There he is in the dock. Recognize that walk anywhere. He's probably here with my mother. I'm gonna tell him, Natalie.
Listen, I only decided to marry you an hour ago. I've got a few things I want to work out, like, for example, I'd like to tell my mother.
You better hurry. Dad's got a way of getting to the facts real quick. Come on, get your stuff.
Hell of a thing to do to you, Natalie.
Hi, Dad. Are we all right?
Everybody's just fine. The Warren news has been shaking things up a bit, though. Warren's leave has been canceled. The wedding's been moved ahead. They're getting married tomorrow. They have a one-day honeymoon. He goes straight out to the Pacific Fleet. You two had lunch?
Well, I packed some sandwiches, but we kind of forgot.
Well, the smells from that joint up there have been driving me nuts. I haven't eaten all day. Would you mind going up there? Some of these waterfront places can be pretty good. Well, looks like France is really folding. The German army may actually bag the entire British regular army. I heard the president on my car radio making an emergency address to a joint session of Congress. He asked them for 50,000 planes a year.
50,000?
Oh, that's just wild talk.
He said we'll have to build the factories to turn them out and then start making them. He'll get the money, too. I saw the mood up there in Washington. The panic is finally on. Now then, number one. You have to be in Pensacola tomorrow morning at 10.
All right, I'll be there.
Okay. Number two. Sub-school starts earlier, May the 20th. If you want to get in, you have to report to New London Saturday for a physical. Applications are piling in. So Red Tully told me.
The 20th, that's 3 days from now. Do you have to go to the submarine school so soon?
It's a possibility. I don't know.
Well, when does the school start?
3 months.
Then what?
Well, as far as I can make out, he goes straight out to the fleet.
3 months, and then you're gone.
We'll talk about that when we get to the wedding.
I haven't been invited.
Oh. Janice said to make sure I brought you along. You know, Natalie and I are getting married.
Oh, I see. Well, that might affect your admission to the school. The unmarried ones tend to get the preference.
Captain Henry only just decided this morning it's a terrible tangle. There are all kinds of complications for me, too.
None that can't be overcome.
Darling, the last thing I want to do is stop you from going to submarine school. My God, I was in Warsaw.
Well, that's that. Great chowder. Hit the spot. Hey, I can still catch that afternoon plane to Pensacola.
Why didn't you just telephone this? Wasn't it simple enough? Why'd you come all the way down here?
Wasn't much out of my way.
Where's Mom and Madeline?
They're still in New York, shopping. They're flying down tomorrow. So, you'll come, Natalie?
Well, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, we'll be there. At least I will. I guess that covers everything, huh?
Well, what about sub-school? I told Red Tully I'd call him today.
If Captain Tully has to know today, then I'm out, okay?
Byron, don't make decisions like that.
I don't know how else to make a decision.
Well, talk to me. I'm involved.
Well, I've spoken my piece, and now I'll leave. We can pick this up tomorrow.
Oh. Then you really don't have to call Red Tully today after all.
Keep trying to remember, I didn't start this war, Byron. I happen to think you'll make a good submariner. They're all a bunch of goofy individuals, too. On the other hand, I can't hate you for wanting to marry this brilliant and beautiful young lady. Well, I'll be gone. I'll see you in church, and be early. You're to be best man. Goodbye, Natalie. I'm sorry to have broken up your day on the boat. Please try to come a little early.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I'll pick up the check.
I have always loathed the smell of cooking fish.
What's the matter with you?
I don't like the way you treated your father.
That's what he came here for, don't you? To separate us.
He was utterly right, you know? You're blaming him for the whole war situation. That is the essence of immaturity. I was embarrassed for you. I hate that feeling.
You know, I never wanted anything before from life. Or from him, or from anybody. And now I do.
It's all the more reason to look at reality and stop throwing tantrums.
He really got to you, didn't he? He usually gets done what he intends to do.
That's how much you know. I love you. I'm going to Pensacola with you. Now shut up and take me home.
He saved our lives. The last plane we could get from New York didn't leave us a minute to finish shopping. Your daughter and I would have come to this wedding in rags. Pug, isn't this a cunning number? Found at the last second at Bergdorf's, huh? Oh, honestly, a small plane is so much fun. You really know you're flying.
Well, that was nice of him. Is Fred Kirby that rich?
Well, of course, I wouldn't hear of it, but then he said it was charged to his company. He's taking the plane on to Birmingham today. Anyway, dear, I didn't want to argue too much. It was a deliverance. Zip me up and back, will you? Pug, did Bryony really bring that Jewish girl?
Yeah.
Oh, of all things. Well, I've never, ever laid eyes on her. And now she'll have to sit with us, and everybody will think she's part of the family.
She may well be.
I don't believe it. I just don't. But how much older is she? 4 years? Oh, that Bryony just enjoys giving us heart failure. Always has, the monster. Pug, what's taking you so long? Land, it's hot in here.
Well, she may be older than he is, but she is terrifically attractive.
Well, you've got me curious, I'll say that. I pictured her as one of those tough Brooklyn chickens who shove past you in New York department stores.
Rhoda, this is Natalie Jasper.
How do you do? Oh, how do you do? No, my dear, how very nice you do look. Oh, Augusta! Oh, I am so glad you made it.
Well, I guess we'll see you inside.
Big hit I made.
I don't let Mom bother you. She's okay.
you see the way she looked at my suit?
Well, you're still in mourning. She knows that.
Oh, this must be Byron's sidekick from that jaunt in Poland.
Natalie, this is my sister Madeline and Mr. Palmer Kirby.
How do you do?
Hello. Well, I can see why the little devil left us so flat in New York.
Well, I can't say I blame him.
Well, he shouldn't have rushed down here so fast.
Why not?
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here at the sight of God to join together in holy matrimony, this man and this woman.
Well, I like her. Oh, you know, I thought that was probably the best about the women. She looks, interesting.
Doesn't she? From the looks of her, she might almost be an Armenian. Or even an Arab. Byron met her in Italy.
Well, Warren did tell the congressman and I that she was beautiful.
Yes.
Please don't tell them I'm your fiancée. Just let them think whatever they like. I just don't want to get into it.
Natalie, we take it easy.
I swear I must be the only Jew in Pensacola. When I walk through these doors, I'm going to set off gongs.
I told Byron this morning that I'm all for you. That was sight unseen.
You always take such blind risks. A flyer should be more prudent.
Well, I know what you did in Warsaw. That's enough for me.
You're cheering me up. I feel terribly out of place here.
You shouldn't. Janice is as much for you as I am. Byron, he's changed already.
Thank you.
Come on, children. We're going to the head table. Come on, follow me.
$50,000 planes a year. That's $1 billion.
He'll get it, Congressman.
It's politically hysterical, financially irresponsible, and industrially inconceivable.
And you're willing to watch the British and the French go down?
Now, that's how that question is usually put.
Ask me if I'm willing to send 3 million American boys overseas against the Germans to prop up the old status quo in Europe. That's what this is all about, and don't forget it.
Congressman, the British Navy is propping up our own status quo right now, free of charge. If Hitler gets a hold of that fleet, his reach will extend all the way to Pensacola Bay.
Oh, yeah. I can just visualize the old Rodney and the Nelson out there at the marina, streaming the swastika and shelling the hell out of our poor old yacht club.
That's not where they're coming, Congressman.
They're not coming at all. That's New York Times stuff. Now, when those limeys see they're in a jam, they'll throw out that blowhard Churchill and make a deal with Germany. Of course, they're going to hang in there just as long as they think that Roosevelt and the British sympathizers and the New York Jews are going to get us over there.
Well, I'm from Denver, and I'm Irish.
Well, error is contagious. Knows no boundaries.
I was in Warsaw during the siege.
That's right. So you were. You and Byron. Pretty bad, was it?
For 3 weeks, the Germans bombed a totally defenseless city. They knocked out every single hospital except the one that I was working in. The wounded were piled up in our entranceway like logs. In one of the hospitals, actually pregnant women were burning.
Well, that sort of thing has been going on in Europe for centuries, my dear. And that is exactly what I want to spare the American people.
I heard a good one yesterday. Old Abe and his family are driving down to Miami, and along about Tampa, they run out of gasoline. So they pulled into this filling station, and this attendant says, "Juice?" And old Abe says, "Well, what if we are? Don't we get no gas?"
Oh, that's pretty cute.
Picked that one up yesterday.
Hey, sugar, give us a smile. It's your wedding day.
Hey, listen, nobody meant anything by that up there.
I know.
You know, darling, I've really finally been getting organized. I think I may as well fly up to New London today or tomorrow. Take that sub-school physical slip. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Go on, you're going up to New London.
Only if we both agree. I won't do anything from now on unless we concur.
All right.
So anyway, I take the physical, making sure that a married applicant has a chance. And that if he is accepted, he gets to spend time with his wife. That'll take care of the first few months. Then if I make it through, I'll probably get shipped out to a submarine base somewhere. Chances are it could be Pearl Harbor. Might even end up with Janice and Warren. They have a university in Hawaii. You could teach there.
My goodness, you've been thinking about this with might and main, haven't you?
You looking for us?
I understand you're using the congressman's car to take Madeline to the airport. Well, don't leave without me. I just talked to Washington. I got a scoot. Your mother's staying on.
What time is that plane?
1:40.
Darling, could you lend me some money? I think I'll take that plane to Washington.
Oh, I'll be glad for the company. I have to run upstairs and change. I'll meet you out front, okay?
Why are you going to Washington?
Well, to see Leslie about Aaron's citizenship. I thought while you were in New London, I could just take care of it. Well, what is the matter with you? You look as if you've been shot.
You're mistaken. I'll give you the fare.
Darling, listen, let me just show you Aaron's letter. He wrote me and asked me to go see Sloat about his passport problems. He's really worried about it.
What's the point? I believe you.
Look, I know you and Janice have lots of better things to do with the little time you have left. So
Nothing that won't wait.
Dad, we're riding to the airport with you. Now, that's that. Who knows if we're going to see you all again.
This family has been gypped by this miserable, stupid war. This is the first time we've been together in how long? And we can't even stay together for 12 hours. Well, I say, excuse me, that if this is going to be a short reunion, it is damn well going to be a merry one. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
You going to the airport? Mm-hmm. Wait a second. All right, Mom.
All right, everybody, let's sing something. Bell-bottom trousers, coats of navy blue. He'll climb the rigging like his daddy used to do. When I was the lady's maid down in Drury Lane, my mistress, she was good to me, my master was the same.
till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet, till we meet.